Now into Movies and Money with film critic Erik, Childress, founder of Movie Madness podcast. Erik, a half man, half dog, led the box office last weekend. Please bring us up to date on how the dollars unleashed.
Yes, as it turns out, the graphic novel series by Captain Underpants creator Dave Pilkey made for a pretty successful movie, too. The animated Dog Man has the 8th best opening in the month of January ever now, with $36 million, a solid start for the $40 million production that now has its eyes on becoming just the 10th film ever to open in the first month and crack $100 million. In its favor is that while January may not be the month to think of with family fare, they do tend to have the season mostly to themselves.
New films coming out this weekend give a twist to Valentine's Day. Tell us about the 2 new movie debuts.
That's certainly one way to put it, Angie. Dog Man will certainly try to hold on to the top spot for another week, but horror fans will get a look at Heart Eyes this weekend. Back in the 1980s, varied holidays and celebrations were turned into slasher films. My Bloody Valentine even got a remake back in 2009. And the Heart Eyes killer makes a point to go after couples celebrating the Hallmark holiday. Now, reviews thus far have been pretty solid, calling the film part horror and part actual romantic comedy, so maybe it will draw in both audiences. Those who may be looking for a little pre-V-Day romance will also be getting a dose of action in the film Love Hurts, which stars Oscar winner Ke-Huy Quan as a former criminal in hiding forced to fight when his old cohorts come after him years later. It's kind of the martial arts equivalent of David Cronenberg's A History of Violence. Now, we all remember Quan from Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, The Goonies, and more recently in his Oscar-winning supporting role in Everything Everywhere All at Once, but this is actually his first starring role after 40 years in the business.
Let's talk about updates from the recently wrapped Sundance Film Festival. You are excited about a couple of films and deals.
I am, Angie, because 2 of the very best films I saw at the festival secured deals, which means that audiences will be able to see them sometime this year. The first of which is called Train Dreams from director Clint Bentley, who did a film called Jockey a few years ago and was co-written by Greg Cuidar, who directed last year's Sing Sing. It stars Joel Edgerton as a turn-of-the-century logger who has 50 years of his life flash before our eyes in less than 100 minutes, and it is a poetic epic of a journey that may also be the best-looking film you will see in 2025. A shame that many won't be able to see it in a movie theater since it was picked up by Netflix, but I actually watched it at home myself, and it was every bit as lyrical and beautiful. Now, also last week, I mentioned a film called Sorry Baby from writer, director, and star Ava Victor that made Sundance audiences sit up and take notice of a major new talent on the horizon. Great news that A24 finalized a deal for $8 million. These are simply 2 of the best films you will see this year, so remember their names and those that made them.
We will. Thank you, Erik.
Thank you, Angie.